Hello.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good, sweetheart. How you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Awesome. What do you want to ask me about?
So I just wanted to know, so my mom's 1 year from her death came up in July. So I just wanted to know if she had any messages or anything fun like that.
Yeah, it's interesting. Do you know there's a reference to Red Robin or the burger place? I know it sounds random. I'm thinking of like the hamburger place and Robin, and I'm trying to figure out where she's going with this.
Not that I'm aware of, no.
Okay. There's some... Did you or your mom ever work at a fast food place or like a burger place?
I mean, back in like 2016, I worked at a Wendy's.
Okay. The reason why I'm thinking of this Robin restaurant thing is because back when I used to work at Starbucks years ago when I worked in Denver, there was a girl that I worked with. Her name was Robin. And every day we would go across, for lunch we would go next door, which was, it was a restaurant that they served like sliced beef sandwiches or something like that. But she's showing me something like this. I don't even know where she's going with this, but there's a reference to either a sliced beef, like it's almost like a Rubicon or a Reuben or whatever. It's a sliced beef sandwich, or there's something about slicing meat and burgers, or there's a reference to Robin. Because again, the only thing that I'm thinking of is those commercials with that Robin thing, and then also the person that I worked with whose name was Robin. I'm trying to figure out where she's going with this. Do you know if there's a reference to the name Robin to red birds, like robins, or there's a reference to this type of restaurant?
As far as like a person goes, she had a lot of friends. I mean, down the line, she could have had a friend named Robin, but I don't, I never personally met a Robin. And we're in Ontario, so the only, I've never heard of, a Robin restaurant or anything. She did live near, a Wimpy's, which is, just, a diner, old-school diner, but, I mean...
that's not it. No, that's not it. Here's what I'm going to say. I'm just going to assume she's referring to either the name Robin or actual Robin bird. A Robin, and I'm just going to leave that with you, and hopefully that will make sense of time. Yes. She's also acknowledging her ring. Do you have her ring?
No.
Okay, she's showing me a ring.
Oh, sorry. She had multiple rings, but, yeah, no, when she died, she had a ring that I had given her.
Okay.
I don't know if...
Was she buried with that?
No, she was cremated as well.
Oh, no, this is not it. I'm not catching her.
Okay, she had a lot of jewelry, but unfortunately, by the time she passed, she didn't have any of it left. But she did have a ring. You know, like those candles that you can burn and you get the jewelry out of them? I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but there's down by our mall, there's a store where you can buy candles and it'll take out jewelry. I had a ring come out of it, and I had given that to her. That was the last thing that she had worn when she had died. But I don't think it was on her during the process of when we did her funeral.
Do you know? She keeps showing me the ring with her. So if she had the ring with her, do you know if the ring's still with her remains or if it was buried?
Not that I'm sure. I think she did die with it on, though.
Okay.
I think she did pass with it.
Were y'all planning on putting something in the ground or burying something in the ground for her? Even though she was cremated, did y'all plant something and put something in the soil for her?
Not that I'm aware of.
Sometimes when people were cremated, I know that the cremation is one thing, burial is another thing.
Yeah.
She's showing me the ring, and then she's talking about putting something in the ground. Now, the only thing that I can think of is people doing something additional on top of the cremation.
The girl that she was living with, she wanted to plant a tree for her.
Okay.
I think they were making that a plan. I don't think they did it, but I know that the plan...
Here's what I'm going to say. If you don't know if the ring was on her, I would say if you are able to confirm to ask that person, that female, if they have the ring or they planted the ring for her or they put something in the ground and if there's a connection to it. Because I feel like I want to tie it all in because she's showing me something like that. She also keeps acknowledging the number 12. Do you know if December or the 12th of a month is connected?
So December is her birthday.
Perfect. So she's acknowledging that. She also keeps acknowledging a fabric on the wall. Do you have something that's fabric made that's on the wall that's connected to Mom?
I have a blanket with a bunch of pictures of her on it that my girlfriend made for me.
Exactly. So she's acknowledging that. She also keeps thank you. I'm hearing music playing as well. Do you know if your mom liked the 80s or she liked that old music or because
she was just a full of life when it came to music. She just listened to music 24/7.
Okay, because she's like jamming out to music, and it's almost like that's her thing. Like, I'm gonna put it on, and she's like, ah. So she
almost
would
walk down the street with headphones on, and she didn't care who was watching. She said, "I'm just gonna dance my life away."
Perfect. So she's just giving me that energy or that personality. She says that heaven is like an all-you-can-eat buffet. So she's almost
a foodie. She was.
Yeah. So she's like, it's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. Like, you have like all these things you can eat. So she's making reference to that. She's also thanking you and showing me a cupcake. Did you get her a cupcake, or did you buy her a little cupcake? It's almost like whenever someone would like give someone something as a birthday, but it's not like a full cake. It's like a cupcake, or it's like a bunch of cupcakes. Do you know
like a tearaway kind of thing? You mean?
Right. So it's like, yeah. Do you know there's something like a birthday cupcake or a cupcake cake? That's gonna sound crazy, but
so what's funny is I can't think off the top that we did that, but I know that way back in 2012, my sister had bought her a tearaway cake of cupcakes for her birthday.
Interesting. Okay. Here's what I'm going to say. Either she's bringing that up because there might be a picture she wants to highlight of this, and her showing how happy.
Yeah.
Say what?
There was a picture of it too.
Okay. And her being as happy. This image of her and how happy, this is how she refers to herself in where she is now. She's also making me feel like, do you know, at that time in her life, she just felt more stronger. She felt like her best, because she's almost acknowledging a big difference between that a certain period in her life back then and versus like the last 4 or 5 years.
Yep. She was very healthy. So I have other siblings. She lived with me specifically, and she was doing really, really well. She gained about 100 pounds within a month. Yeah. She was a very sick person, so she gained a lot of weight, and she was doing really, really well. So
she makes me feel like, so that image and that time in her life is when she's acknowledging that this is what she's back to. She's back to this period in her life where she was fine and she wasn't suffering or struggling. So she's acknowledging that. She also keeps it, thank you. Do you know if one of her legs was going numb on her? She was starting to feel numb in one of her legs?
She actually had a fractured leg a month. Well, I mean, the whole last month that she was actually alive, she wore like one of those little boot things. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure when she passed, it hadn't fully healed. So she did actually have a fractured leg. Yes. Yeah,
because she's like making me feel like I couldn't feel my leg, or I couldn't use it, or I couldn't move. And so she's like making sure I can get that clearly, that she can use her legs now, or she can walk and stuff like that. There's a dog that's there with her. It feels like it's a darker colored dog. Do you know if there was a stray that was coming around, or a dark colored dog? It looks like it's a mix. It doesn't look like it's a purebred. But there's a dog that's with her in spirit.
Not that I'm sure of. I mean, she loved dogs, but I don't think we ever had a dog.
This one almost reminds me, he feels he's a little thinner, but he has well, they all have snouts, but he has this nose. There's a little white underneath the bottom. So there's a little white here. The rest of it is darker colored. So she's showing me this dog, and I want to say he was short-haired, because he looks short-haired to me.
The last time she ever owned a dog was in about 2012, 2013. We had to rehome him, so I don't know if he had passed maybe by now, or he was a boxer / sheepdog, so he was crazy. So I mean, that was so many years ago. He may have passed by now, and maybe that's what she's referring to. But he did have white on his chest, and he was short-haired.
Okay.
He was like a dark, like a nice milk chocolate brown kind of color.
Yeah, it's a darker color, because she's acknowledging this dog being there. I'm going to assume that he's there because she's acknowledging this dog being there as well. She's also got the, I don't know if it was a chinchilla or like a hamster. Did you have a chinchilla or a hamster that died? It's a rodent.
Not like recently. Like, I had hamsters as a kid, but that was like, I mean, I'm 24 now. That was at like the age of like 7.
She's got a chinchilla or a hamster there that's with her as well. So she's acknowledging this animal being there as well. She also, thank you. Were you actually considering, thank you. She's talking about a move too as well. Were you considering moving or possibly relocating?
We are at the moment, yes.
Okay. She's aware of what's happening. She says that it's a good decision, and that you shouldn't doubt it, that it's a good decision. She also says that, thank you, there might be a legal issue that comes up that has to be addressed. She's acknowledging that it'll work out. Just do what you have to do with it, but it'll work out. Okay?
Okay, perfect.
All right, sweetheart. She's okay. She's there.
Yes. Thank you so much, Fernie.
You're welcome. You're welcome, sweetheart. You take care of yourself.
You too.